Personally, I love the vibe of Fallout 3. I love the vibe of Fallout New Vegas even more than Fallout 3, but we're talking about Fallout 3 in this video, and why it's so green. And Fallout New Vegas was really brown, probably for the same reasons that Fallout 3 is so green. Let's check it out. Well, why Fallout 3 looked like that, and why it matters. And it does very much matter.
Fallout 3 is flawed. There's no getting around
It's
that.
flawed beautifully.
There are countless bugs still present in the base game. The engine runs like shit, and
absolute masterpiece. Fucking love Fallout 3. I don't think they're ever gonna get another hit like Fallout 3. Except New Vegas. They got another hit like it with New Vegas. But there's not gonna be another one.
and that's if you can even boot up the game on anything past Windows 7. I mean, the game came out on Windows Vista, for God's sake.
Damn.
But I do love Fallout 3.
Windows Vista is where I started my PC journey. My grandpa got a Windows Vista. He was already like into computers and stuff, had computers, and had good computers. Just, I didn't mess with them until then. I was way too young.
Almost as much as New Vegas. There's something so comforting about the capital Wasteland.
Hot take, going back to Vista for a second. I liked the look of Vista. I just didn't like the way it ran. But I was way too young to really understand how bad it was.
Three Dog is the best DJing game, Megaton is super sick, and
Those monsters,
What?
they're gonna get me.
What the hell are you doing over here? And the environmental storytelling is some of the best in
Yeah, if a random kid runs up to you in the middle of the wasteland, don't trust him.
gaming history. But there's one thing, one controversy that stands above all others in Fallout 3.
Is it the fact that pretty much everything was banned about it in Germany? It's still released in Germany. It was just heavily censored. They changed so much.
The green tint,
Oh,
or green filter, or whatever you want to call it. Some love it, some hate it, and some go as far as to completely scrub any existence of it from their games with a plethora of de-greening mods from the community.
I think it's all right. Honestly, if I'm going to go back and play Fallout 3, I'd rather have the original look with some boosted textures.
It's been something that Fallout fans have been grappling with since the game came out, and
I like it better in its original glory. Just boost the graphics and boost the way it runs. That's all I want. Maybe throw some extra mods in there for like quests and things. Maybe some quality of life mods. Throw a few houses in there.
there are still tons of discussions taking place over the green hue and its place in Fallout 3. Recently, these talks have become more concrete as rumors have begun floating around about a remaster of Fallout 3 in the same vein as the Oblivion remaster earlier this year. In a leaked ZeniMax management forecast,
I think that they're gonna have to have some filters. They're gonna have, that you can choose from. You want green filter? Do you want clear filter? Do you want a red filter?
this document,
Brown filter.
Fallout 3 Remastered appeared in the fiscal year ending 24 slot. Since we know that's not happening, and since both the last Indiana Jones game, The Great Circle, and the Oblivion Remaster were released in 2025, it's safe to assume we won't see much about a potential Fallout 3 remaster until 2027 or so. But back to the topic at hand, the green tint. Should the tint come back in the remaster?
Yes.
Why was it in
Absolutely.
the original game to begin with? And why is it important at all?
To give it a vibe. To give it that nuclear vibe, because people associate nuclear radiation with green and yellow, and there was a lot of that.
Well, I'm here to be a green tint defender, so I'll take the liberty of
let's
answering some of those
go!
questions.
I wish I was going to disagree. I'm going to try and get in the mindset of disagreeing. No, I can't do it. I'm
Let's
for the
start
green.
at the beginning.
Vault Tech presents.
It's hard to pinpoint exactly why Bethesda Game Studios decided to add a hue of light green to the game.
Yeah, it is weird.
As not one person in the
Yeah, Fallout 1 and 2, it didn't really have a green hue to it.
development team has talked about why it's there. Essentially, it's a there is no green tint in Ba Sing Se type deal. The closest thing we got was a retrospective 1 minute 33-second interview with Todd Howard and Istvan Pelli the art director of Fallout 3, where they talked about the shades of green. Not the tint shade of green, but rather the Pip-Boy shade of green. I sifted through the various interviews, retrospectives, moratoriums, and talks with the developers. And aside from some small remarks in regards to the style and tone,
it has a tone and a style to it. I can look at an image from Fallout and instantly go, Fallout.
Yep.
Not much is said.
Yeah, I can look at like an image of Fallout 3 and New Vegas and tell which one is which, even though they use a lot of the same assets. I think all of the same assets.
About the ever-present green. The evergreen, if you will. I read through almost every review of the game from 2008 and found not one mention of the green tint by any reviewer at the time as well. So, why was there not much talk about something that's become such a hot topic?
Because I think back then a lot of games had their own style like this, so it was kind of normal for every game to have their own style. Because it's not normal anymore. Everybody uses the Unreal Engine and uses similar lighting tools and tries to look realistic and not try to have its own style. That's why. Like, if you look at this game and you look at BioShock, they're very, very similar, but you can tell them apart. Look at a screenshot of Assassin's Creed Shadows and look at a screenshot of, what's another, like a screenshot of Oblivion or a screenshot of Avowed. You can't really tell. You're not going to really be able to tell. Unless you are able to point out, like, the variations of the shades of the leaves in the trees.
Amongst Fallout fans. Well, my guess is that when the game released in 2008, there were very few other games that looked and played like Fallout 3.
Yeah,
Of
and
course,
a lot of games were
looking
like
back
this.
now, it's easy to see how the green tint might come across as old and tired. But
I like it.
At the time,
I like old and tired. I play a lot of old games.
there were so few first-person shooter RPGs on the market, it was hard to draw comparisons to. Everyone was too busy talking about VATS, which, to be fair, was a pretty revolutionary gameplay addition.
The only comparison that people were making at the time was Borderlands. It was Borderlands, Fallout. Which RPG first-person game are you going to play? They're completely different. I was more of a Borderlands fan, but I eventually got on board with Fallout. Like, when Fallout 4 launched is when I actually started playing Fallout. Never played it before. Played Fallout 3, and it was amazing. I loved it. And then I played New Vegas. Fucking life-changing. It was like, when did Fallout 4 come out? It was like 2014. I played the Fallout 3 and 4 game, or not 3 and 4. Played Fallout 3 in New Vegas before Fallout 4 came out to get excited for Fallout 4 because it looked great. And it wasn't as good. But I still liked it.
But, as H-Bomber Guy aptly pointed out in his hour-and-a-half-long tirade
It's funny, that whole shoe thing. They made fun of that scene in King of the Hill, the new season. Love that show. 10 out of 10 season.
about Fallout 3,
The VAT system looks totally badass. No written or video review can shy away from mentioning this and showing you in graphic detail. Yeah! This is the part that people like. What about the nuanced storytelling?
It's funny because the only reason VATS is even in there is because the gunplay sucked. And it ended up being a game changer. Without it, Bulletstorm wouldn't have been able to be a thing.
Gives a shit!
Since Fallout 3's release, the modding community quickly hopped on the degreening process, releasing Fallout,
they
the
did.
popular mod by Haddix, to get rid of the tint and make the game
There's
look
so
how
many.
many people believed the game should.
If you install, or I mean, if you search for these mods, you're gonna get a list of like 100 of them.
always have looked like. The mod just recently surpassed 1 million unique downloads, and compared to the mod that makes the green tint stronger,
Ooh,
it
I don't
does
know
have a
about
solid
that.
lead. And if you want to play with a more natural and realistic coloring, I will not be the one to cast the first stone. One of my first playthroughs on my PC version of Fallout 3 was done with a bunch of realism mods added on, with one, of course, being Fallout. But, if I may, I'd like to make a case as to why you should keep the green tint and why it should return in the remaster.
Definitely should, but maybe make it an option. Maybe you can turn
Video
it off.
games are art. You may be
Yep.
thinking, well, yeah,
And I don't want it to just look like another Unreal Engine game, because that's what the new Oblivion looked like, just another Unreal Engine game. I mean, it definitely was also at times with its playstyle and with its mechanics was definitely skinned over the original Oblivion, but the way the environments looked, the way the people looked, it was just, you know, very samey with all the other Unreal Engine games.
Sure, but where the hell did that come from? I bring up this fact because I think the reason that the designers and art team decided to add the green tint to Fallout 3 is the same reason for a painting having a certain color palette or a movie choosing its colors to match its tone. The good, the bad, and the ugly? Browns. The Matrix? Greens. The Mona Lisa? Browns and greens. These are meant to be various depictions of something real, regardless of how fantastical they may be in subject matter. It's the creator's artistic representation and the choice of the artist to give their pieces tone and style, something that Todd Howard mentioned in his earlier interview.
I need to go back and install a whole bunch of Fallout 3 mods and play it and maybe do a playthrough. Maybe do a playthrough on my gaming channel. Link down there in the description.
It has a tone and a style to it.
It does.
Fallout 3 is a piece of art no different than a movie or a painting. The same goes for all video games. And the artists behind Fallout 3 chose to add the green tint in the same way that a painter chooses a color to elicit something. Radiation, decay, death.
Somebody fart?
Whatever the reason behind it, I do think that the artist's intent is important. The green tint might have just been to cover some rougher edges. It may have been to make the game feel dingier and grittier than it actually was, but I think it was intentional. But this is...
I miss when games would do that, where they would like have weird reasons for choices that they made, and it was to cover up problems that they came across, and they were like, well, if we do this, it covers it up. Like, now they use tools to get rid of all this stuff, and it makes everything the same, and it's not well optimized, because they just use the tools to fix everything, to generate everything, to make everything, and then they're like, well, it's done. Let's shit it out to the audience now, and they'll eat it up. Eat up the slop.
All talk. I want to show you some concrete evidence. Let me take you to a place where the loss of the green tint actually takes away from and harms the overall presentation of the game. This is the back exit to the Galaxy News radio building in the downtown DC ruins. The sprawling wasteland of bombed-out office buildings, gnarled metal, and the occasional irradiated beings peppering the distance. And here it is without the filter.
Yeah, it just ain't the same.
It might look slightly more realistic, but seeing the desolation and destruction of civilization with bright blue sunny skies seems to miss...
It looks fake. It looks like it was destroyed on purpose and set up to make it look like that. That's what that looks like to me. It's forced.
The point of a scene
video
like this.
gamey.
You walk out from a building with the entire back caved in and destroyed. You see ghouls shuffling around, waiting for their next victim. This isn't supposed to be a Bluebird day.
And I think a lot of games nowadays are trying to capture that because they know that the tint equals vibe. And then they just put this weird fog over everything and they make different areas, different vibes. And they'll have them right next to each other too, and it'll be clashing. The really big problem with this is Outer Worlds 2, if you'll notice, that they'll have an area where the lighting is red and everything's red, and everything's a shade of red, and everything's really solid, like really solid and kind of computer graphic-y and too smooth and clean. And then you walk and there's a hard line where it's just blue. Everything is blue. It's all blue. Shade of blue everywhere. You walk into another area, it's all purple. There's a hard line between the blue and the purple. And it makes no sense and it looks bad.
It's supposed to feel like an apocalypse. Sure, there are some places that almost look comically green. No, this is not edited. This is actually just how it looks. But there are also so many places that benefit from the slightly sickly colors the original artists intended.
Yep.
In both the dawn and dusk hours in Fallout 3, the color palette is filled with oranges and pinks, making for some pretty impressive sunrises and sunsets in game. The green tint isn't perfect. Neither is Fallout 3.
I think as time passes, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas get better. Because I think they're aging very well. For a little while, people, I think, thought that they weren't aging well. But in my opinion, I think they're aging better. Because more and more, I just want to go back and play these games and experience them in their true colors, even with the mouse acceleration problem. I don't care. I'll just use a controller, whatever.
But I do think it serves a purpose that, by changing it, does alter some of the fabric of what makes it Fallout 3 to begin with. This leads me to another point in regards to artistic intent versus realism, which was something that a lot of fans of the original Oblivion game pointed out when it came to the newer, more technically advanced Oblivion remaster.
I refunded it. I refunded Oblivion, and I just went back and played the original. I was like, well, I like this better. I like the way it looks better. I like the vibe. It looks, the colors look better. I can tell where things are, because honestly, everything looks the same. Everything kind of looks the same in this picture, but like, man, this just looks like every fucking forest. You can't really, you can't really tell. I mean, you see the shrine up there, but it doesn't look any different from that. It just looks like another structure. But whenever you got this version, it's not showing them, but there'll be like this white structure up here, and then there'll be like an obvious castle structure right here, and they like are opposite colors pretty much. One's dark colored, the background's light green colored, and it's just all the same. It's all just various shades of the same color here.
Sure, the new one has better textures and lighting and animations and leveling systems, and where was I going with this? There are some important tonal distinctions in the world that get muddled when the original artistic vision of the game is thrown out in place of realism. This area here was a big contention for fans of the original Oblivion game that felt it lost some of the original charm and artistic expression. Realism is great, and I love detailed textures and impressive shadow mapping as much as the next guy. But when it takes the place of actual artistic style, I worry for a future of games that rely solely on how close it is to our world instead of how distinct it is for its own world. Many a True Nerds video about Fallout 3 Remastered,
and I think this sentiment is growing. I think people are really getting tired of it.
Brings up the point about Oblivion Remastered, and I think is an important caution when hoping the green tint goes or stays for a potential Fallout 3 remaster.
As much as people mock the green filter, I think it's actually a pretty critical part of Fallout 3's visual identity. But we can see from Oblivion Remastered the very distinctive vibrant colours like the green of the forest east of Skingrad that didn't really survive into the remaster.
Yeah, it's really brown.
So, why is the tint important in
really
Fallout
dirty,
3? I
grainy.
think it makes up an important part of the identity of the game and is something the developers did as a clear artistic choice to dramatically change the vibes and tone of the game. Sure, you can get rid of it, but then why not color correct your movies to be more true to life?
Right?
Stylization is an important aspect of art.
I agree.
And at the end of the day, the green tint is a stylistic choice. At some point, I think we need to be okay with letting pieces of art stay as the creator intended it.
Yeah, and I definitely think it's okay for you to try out mods and like make it ultra realistic and see how it looks and plays. I think that's cool too, if you've played it 1,000 times. I don't think that should be the definitive experience though.
And this is in no way a dig at the modding community. I love my mods. I have a Fallout New Vegas playthrough with over 200 mods currently activated.
Yeah,
but something I try to avoid
man.
messing with is the yellow tint present in New Vegas. I mean, at some point, is it...
Yeah, I just want to add things in. I don't really want to mess with the graph or with the vibe of it. I want to boost the textures definitely in Fallout 3 and New Vegas. I want to do both modded.
Even Fallout
but just
3
added
anymore?
mods. I don't want to do anything that actually overhauls anything.
This. What are we doing here? And I guess the older I get, the more I want to hold on to the nostalgia of...
And the better it gets for me, honestly. Like, Ratchet and Clank, 10 out of 10 for me right now. Even though I didn't really give them high scores and I kind of got frustrated when I was playing them, I haven't got around to Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal yet, but I know I'm going to love it because I remembered loving that one.
Booting up the game for the first time and Seeing the sickly green of the vault, walking through the irradiated ruins of DC, and noticing that weird structure in the distance, silhouetted against an olive-colored sky. I wonder what that is. I think the green tint runs deeper for me than most.
Probably something shitty, man.
I think
probably something that's gonna try and kill you.
further away I get from the first time I played it, the less I care about things like realism, and the more I enjoy the hue. I read somewhere that...
This sign says, "Don't go this way, there are death claws." What are death claws?
Compared the green tint to a fluorescent light bulb. Yeah, it's unsettling. It casts everything in a sort of uncanny light, but that's the point. You're not supposed to feel comfortable in a nuclear apocalypse. Having something different, not chasing pure realism, is good every once in a while.
I love it.
So,
I love it when we're just like, got passion and we're coming up with ideas, man, and we're not trying to make the best of the best. We're just trying to make the best of the thing that we're trying to make because we love it.
Should the inevitable Fallout 3 remaster have the green tint? Yes. It would be stupid of me to have made a video clearly making its case to turn around and say no. I think more and more people are coming to the same realization that I made. The green tint is comforting. It's what makes Fallout 3 Fallout 3. Without it, I think it loses a part of its identity. And when Fallout 3 Remaster comes out, I hope the art team decides to keep a clear choice made by the original development team intact, even if everything else around it changes. So if you're returning to Fallout 3, throw on as many mods as you want.
Yeah, I probably won't play the remastered, at least for a long time. I might get in a bundle or on sale for really, really cheap a few years in the future, but like if it's going to be the same as Fallout 3, it's not going to be better than the original one. So I'm just going to keep the original one and play it. And I could play that now. And I can't wait for Sky Oblivion to release, man. I'm definitely going to be playing that because I got Skyrim.
Get rid of those soupy and low-res textures, fix those bugs, but when you go to download that degreener mod, maybe hold off on it for a bit. Walk the halls of Vault 101.
I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to download a degreener mod ever, probably. I want to keep that vibe. I'm all about vibes when it comes to video games, and I don't want to change them.
The irradiated light of the capital wasteland wash over you, and wherever you wander, I hope it's green.
So good. It's a good video. Oh man, I'm definitely gonna give this dude a subscribe.
Yes, they
Done both. 2.65k subscribers. He's got less subscribers than I do. Holy shit. 224,000 views a month ago. Congratulations, man. This guy's awesome. I love Fallout. I can't wait to do a Fallout playthrough. Right now I'm doing Sleeping Dogs though. Way better game than I thought it was gonna be, honestly. It could come out today and I think it would be a banger. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for all notifications. See you in the next one.